It flashed on TV at the bar that a notorious criminal named Bobby Briggs was finally caught. Joe became emotional because Bobby was the one who crippled him and put him in the wheelchair. His friends were surprised because Joe had always told them that he had fallen off a roof while fighting with a Grinch. Joe narrated that in 1996, Briggs was one of the biggest heroin dealers in East Providence. Joe managed to gain Briggs's confidence by remaining undercover and following him closely. Joe wanted to tape all revelations made by Briggs to catch him red-handed, but Briggs caught him before. Joe warned him that if he killed a cop he would be in for a long time. Briggs smirked at Joe, shot him multiple times in each of the legs, and fled. Joe arranged a party for all his neighbors when the dreaded news flashed that Briggs had escaped again from police custody. Joe was devastated because Briggs was caught after 15 years and now everything was back from scratch. The next day Briggs requested the chief to put him on the Briggs case. The chief refused because Joe was too close to the case. Peter encouraged Joe to take the matter into his own hands. Peter and Quagmire offered to help Joe. Joe brought them to his own mind room where he had dedicated 15 years to collecting information about Briggs. Joe stated that according to the FBI, the only relationship he had maintained over the years was with a stripper named Tanya who currently worked at a club in Atlantic City, so that would be their first stop. Quagmire decided to scoop out the information in his own way. Finally, after performing Vulcan Vi Meld on Tanya, Quagmire revealed Briggs' current address, which was 2820 Ocean Boulevard, across from the park, apartment 2. The trio raided Briggs's apartment and Joe managed to find him sleeping in his bedroom. Briggs pretended not to recognize Joe, flung his blanket over him, and fled through the window. He headed upstairs towards the terrace, however the trio followed him closely. Briggs's agility was enviable as he jumped from one roof to another like a cat. Finally, the trio lost him again. Joe was adamant and crashed down, landing on his crippled feet, but still managed to spot Briggs. Before Joe could reach him, Briggs was off on a bus. Out of the blue, the cops arrived to arrest Joe for interfering with their investigation. Joe immediately recognized the corrupt cop named Flanagan who helped harbor Briggs while he was on the lam for 15 years. The trio broke off their cuffs thanks to Quagmire's cheesy weapon and then drove the police car away. Peter gave Joe a number that he found in Briggs's kitchen. Joe was alarmed because the smart Alec Briggs was about to cross the border. Joe knew that Briggs wouldn't have used the airport, so they decided to head to the US-Mexico border via the road. The trio had to wait in El Paso for a couple of days for Briggs to arrive, checking every passing car. Joe spotted Briggs, but unfortunately, the criminal sped away. Joe went on a wild goose chase and finally grabbed Briggs by jumping into the river after him. After the basic fistfight, Joe pinned him down and shot Briggs in his legs, but somehow Briggs got killed. Later, Joe thanked his pals for helping him out to reach the closure of the case.